Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
I give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 13-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Come on.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Eric Ebron. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Ready. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Come on, ready. Come on.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Cameron Hayward has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. They go play action here on first down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go 47. We're going 26.
Prescott now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Watch twitch. Watch twitch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
Let's go, D. Bang, go. Bang, bang.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Let's go, baby.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do?
There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. With touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Looking sideline, incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 2nd down now, Mabry. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Taking it about the 16. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. Around the NFL, second quarter down in Tampa. And the Bucks are out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Complete to Washington. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Watch the twist. Check.
Prescott to throw it. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now they'll run it on the toss. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
At the 37-yard line.
Here we go. 480. All day, dog. Hey, we got tight left. Here we go. You got 3. You got 3 down.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, they certainly have been able to get. Get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Dances by him. He may try and run for this. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. This time Jackson will throw it. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he is going to lose yardage here. And he lost 6 there on the first down play. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
23 yards the pickup there. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Four yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Jackson into a double team, and it's intercepted. The safety Terrell Edmonds picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Oh, the pressure too great, and And he goes down once more. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Prescott looks to throw on first. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. 30, past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
He's going to launch it for Washington. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Ebron's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it, because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Mike's 50, Mike.
Throwing again. Jackson. Snead's got it. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
There you go. Right there in the middle. 55. Watch the slant. Check 90.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
A first down throw for Prescott. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
At the 43-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 1, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a draw play. This is counter. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
They've gone final now in Dallas and really pouring it on now with the Cowboys. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, and a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
Interception, baby.
Intercepted. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Steelers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.